Hello and welcome back to the Naren Agarwal Show. Today we have the guy who is building the fashion gateway of India, Torero Corporation Private Limited, founder and director, Yashovardhan Gupta. Yash bhai, how are you doing?
Excellent, Naren. Pleasure to be here.
Can you explain the name of your company? Why that?
Torero, before that, I was saying that founder and director in India, so you can call them Jamadar, Chaprasi, everything. We're one. Founder, director, CEO, chairman, whatever. But ultimately, my goal is, I guess, chief people officer.
Yeah.
So the only goal is to take care of the people. So,
I love it. I love it. So I want to ask you, what do you do in your business? You're in the leathers business, but
Yep.
there's three wings to your business. So in short, if you can tell the people about it, so
Right.
that I can get to know him a little bit
So
more.
everyone, hi, I'm Yash, and pleasure to be with Naren. If he cracks too many jokes, write in the comments below. So I'll tell him. I've heard he cracks a lot of jokes. So anyway, I've had a humble journey as Torero Corporation, and hopefully everyone can get some snippets of what not to do more than what to do.
Yeah.
But essentially, as a company, what we're doing is that we're very passionate about building the manufacturing base of India. Right, our only goal is that manufacturing creates a lot of jobs, right? And especially accessories manufacturing creates you can say more jobs. And in fact, there was a market study that say a backpack, if you just look at a backpack, there are possibly 30-40 components in a backpack.
Right.
And similarly, a wallet, there are all these layers and
There's glue sticking, there's
everything.
chain.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
Right? So compared to a t-shirt, which is potentially maybe 5 or 6 pieces, so an accessory manufacturing requires 4 times the amount of labor per dollar exported than apparel manufacturing. So our goal was to generate 100,000 jobs. So which is why our goal is to make India the gateway for buying fashion accessories.
Wow.
So in Torero, we do 3 things.
Yeah.
One is we are an OEM manufacturer,
Right.
a white label manufacturer,
Right.
for leather goods, travel goods, and gifts.
So for example, Hugo Boss gives you an order, you
Yes.
manufacture for them. So you manufacture
Ship it.
for all these fancy
Absolutely.
European brands.
But not only fancy, I would like to, and this goes for almost all manufacturing companies, they are not divided by client type, they're divided by category type. So we are very good in accessories, but we manufacture Hugo Boss, we manufacture for Giorgio Armani, Piquadro, but we also manufacture for Bata. There is a store close by, or for Reliance, because the supply chain is similar. Think of it like going to McDonald's. You can order a fillet of fish, muck chicken, or a muck veggie.
Right.
The process is the same.
Correct.
It depends on the patty.
What you want, right?
So we do the same thing. So we are very dominant in accessories. So one part of the business is that we manufacture wallets, bags, backpacks, luggage for luxury European brands, mid-scale European brands, and for Indian brands. That is one part of the business. Second part of the business is that we are worldwide licensee for a few brands. So we are very grateful to be the worldwide licensee for the Cross brand,
Yeah.
for the police brands.
So that means that any leather goods that we see of Cross and Police, so like wallets, bags,
Right.
handbags, that's all been manufactured by you?
Yes, pretty much. I would say that any Cross or police you see anywhere in the world, designed, manufactured, distributed, and sold by us.
Wow.
And so we are not really, you can say, a make in India company. We're a design, make from India, distribute from India, sell from India company. We're a complete own IP in India company.
Wow.
So we design, manufacture, distribute it, and sell, and give the parent brand a royalty. So it's kind of a partnership method.
Correct.
The parent brand owns the intellectual property,
Right.
which they give you the license for.
Right.
It's very similar to what happens in pharmaceuticals as well.
Yep.
That an Indian company could take the license of a say American pharmaceutical company.
They own the IP, they
own the
manufacture
IP,
and sell.
distribute and sell, and then
Right.
you give the parent brand.
Right.
So in fashion, this is very common in fashion. For example, you're wearing a very fun pair of eyewear.
Yeah.
You've heard of the company Luxottica?
Yeah.
Luxottica owns 70% of all eyewear brands.
Right.
They're an eyewear company. So
Correct.
when you buy a Lady Gaga sunglasses, you think Lady Gaga's made their sunglasses? No,
It's Luxottica building
Luxottica.
that. Exactly.
So similarly, same thing happens in fragrances as well. So for example, Estee Lauder, Lakme,
Right.
they are not just individual cosmetic companies, they are almost cosmetic conglomerates.
Hubs. Yeah.
So you can again buy say a Katy Perry fragrance. Has Katy Perry made that fragrance? No, it's Estee Lauder.
Exactly.
So you have these groups, and same thing happens with watches as well. For example, Swatch. Swatch owns Omega, Swatch owns Swatch, obviously. They own a bunch of brands.
Cars.
Yes,
Yeah.
cars as well. But watches, I would say even Fossil. Fossil owns Michael Kors, they own Marc Jacobs. So people don't realize that. So our goal was that we felt accessories very labor intensive. And अब तो को पता है सब लेबर तो इंडिया में ही है.
Yeah.
And बंगाल में थोड़ा ज़्यादा है. So so you know, so politically incorrect jokes are fine.
Yeah, it's totally fine.
So-
All joke. This is
all jokes are fine.
not a media
Right.
podcast. You know, you
Cool.
can be free.
Yeah. So what happens is that we have an abundance of labor, right? So accessory manufacturing is not in vogue anywhere in the world, right? Clearly not in the West, but not even in China, because the Chinese workers have graduated to smartphone manufacturing, television manufacturing. No one has time for manufacturing leather goods, clearly, but also increasingly to manufacture backpacks also. So this category, India is the natural home for manufacturing. And our goal, we would like to think that we're among the better ones. Our goal is to really dominate this category and emerge as a kind of controlling group for OEM or for brand ownership. So in summary, you can say that we do three things. We're very, very good in our category, which is leather goods, travel goods and gifts. One is OEM. Second is through brand ownership and retailing, often through the same channels.
Right.
I'll give you an example. Suppose we are selling, we had a great sales relationship with Debenhams. So we used to manufacture for Debenhams in the UK, but also distribute through Debenhams,
Right.
because the customers are the same.
Exactly.
So pretty much like that. And
the third category being?
And the third category, because we have both, because we are manufacturing and brands, we are uniquely positioned to provide consumer gifts, bulk consumer gifts, bulk corporate gifts at very, very sharp price points. Because we are also backward integrated, we are also forward integrated.
Right.
For example, we produce our own synthetic leather, right? And we produce our own packaging.
Correct.
So we have the ability, to give an example, a retailer such as Lifestyle calls us that, you know, guys, we were sleeping, Diwali's in 4 weeks, I need 80,000 backpacks, you know, as a consumer sale. You know,
in my own brand.
In my own brand, or hey, my own brand is too bureaucratic, you know, give me in your own brand, give me in police.
Correct.
If they tell me I want 80,000 backpacks in 4 weeks, we have a templatized method to make it happen. We'll say, okay, this is your budget, these are the options, select, 4 weeks guaranteed.
So this is how I'm thinking it, to draw a parallel.
Right.
It's kind of like you're a Subway.
Yes.
You have your own brand sandwiches, Subway.
Yes.
If somebody else says, hey, can you make a sandwich in my name? You can make it for their name. And if somebody has a party and they want to cater,
yes,
you can do
100%. I think that was the perfect way to call us. We're very clearly Subway. If you want butter chicken, we'll recommend the store next door. But for our category, accessories, travel goods, we are very dominant. And we have created almost a proprietary method that all orders within our company are within 4 weeks. So what we've done is that we've defined.
You've defined your TAT.
Absolutely.
That I must order and execute. And that's great.
And I wish, I will implore, you know, the viewers also, it would be great if I could show them a demo. But we have a method, exactly what you are describing, for a B2B level. To give you an example, say Aditya Birla Group decides to take over a new brand, right? Or say Tata is currently trying to take over brands. Tata takes
Reliance
over a new brand.
Reliance
is taking over a brand. But let us say Tata Westside as an example. Suppose Westside has decided that they want to launch, say, a Titan range of handbags, for example, and they need it. They have 4 weeks deadline. They need a whole new collection for the festive season. We have a method where it's a 3-step process. There are blanks. You can see 6 white shapes, which are standardized Indian shapes, which maximize capacity, utility, and minimize total surface area and cost. So you select your shape, which is like select your bread.
Correct.
Then you select the you can say fabric or faux leather that we keep in stock, which is standardized. So select the material in stock, which is select your protein, let us say, and then there is an option. There is a 30 item design. You can have pleats, you can have color blocking,
patterns, veggies.
Add that, done. The price is computed, the order is processed, and 4 weeks guaranteed in stores.
This is all automated.
All automated. At least the ordering process is automated. On the back end, obviously, there are merchandisers executing it. Right? Ordering processes are automated. order is released in an automated manner. The client gets that, okay, pretty much like Subway, that you've placed your order, you get a this
Summary,
paneer with this sauce, barbecue sauce, etc., etc. So you get a receipt. So the client gets a receipt that, hey, this is what you've ordered, and wait for 4 weeks.
Amazing.
It's in stores. So we've done this from an OEM perspective, and we've done this from an internal brand perspective. So our goal is, our goal truly is I see that people have lost the confidence in manufacturing, and even large groups, they're scared to manufacture, right? Everyone would much rather buy. We want to solve the accessories part of the puzzle for them, not for India, but you can say, as we say in India, Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam. So we want to solve it for the world.
Wow.
So, and make more money in the
Love
process.
it. So we were talking about making shitloads of money.
Yes, absolutely.
Before the podcast, right?
Yeah.
So how to do this, and you've had an amazing entrepreneurial journey. You topped your engineering school. When you went for your MBA, you were the top of your class in your GMAT. You got like 770 out of 800.
True.
You got full scholarship to ISB, Indian School of Business, the best business school in India. And so you've had an entrepreneurial journey.
Yeah.
Did you always know that you wanted to be an entrepreneur and you wanted to get into manufacturing?
I mean, so kind of, I see everyone goes through a certain journey, and no one can, we were kids playing video games. I mean, no one really knows what they want to do.
Correct.
And I would say that it's fun to, say that I always wanted to do this, always wanted to do this. I had no clue what I wanted to do.
Right.
I think no one really does.
Correct.
They fib, which is also good. But I guess I made a lot of mistakes, and I guess everyone does.
Yeah.
So I kept making mistakes, and when I finally ran out of mistakes to make, I finally realized, okay, I discovered a pattern. Nahi, ye karega to phasega. So I discovered a pattern that, okay, maybe I should do this, and it started working. So I think that was the journey. But on some level, you can say that I knew that I was always very, very patriotic.
Yeah.
And I almost, I was, my parents were scared, my wife was scared, ye to army chala jayega. Then I said, ab to dekho ganja ho gaya, ab to nahi ja sakta kahin. But so I was always very patriotic. So I always wanted to, be in India, build India. So that was, I would say, a theme.
So that's why you didn't go to these abroad colleges that were paying you a lot of
pretty
scholarship.
Much, yes. So for example, Cornell gave me 76% scholarship. Carnegie Mellon, pretty much the same. I got a deferred admit from London Business School. But then again, I realized that, if you want to be in India, might as well study in India. And really, and I really enjoy, I would say, my engineering time really kind of formed me. And school, I was pretty much a loser kid. But in engineering, I really came into my own. I think, 4 years of being in a men's hostel,
tough life.
No, it's fun. It's 100 guys for one toilet. It's that is when you realize that, okay, boss, now you can do it. Kuch bhi kar sakta abhi. So you do engineering in India. It is, I think, a great, I would say, stepping stone. And then then you realize, acha, engineering hai. Finally college aayega, ladki log mile, bole, no boss, you selected engineering. Yahan there are no girls. So then you realize, okay.
So after engineering, you said you realized that it's, a lot of challenging times happen, but you can still face them, right?
Yeah.
You got one bathroom and 100 guys living in the same space.
Yeah.
So with that transition, I want to make our conversation also a little twisting.
Right.
We got a Jenga game right here. So I want to play Jenga with you as we have the conversation.
Done. Let's attack.
And let's see who.
You should be careful. I'm an engineer.
Yeah.
I've already figured out which are the loose pieces, and my goal is to trap you rapidly.
So should I take the first move?
Yeah, go for it.
Awesome. So as we speak, we're going to be going.
Done.
I want to talk about the next phase in your life where you went and worked with NAVEEN JINDAL.
That is actually classified. I'm not allowed to talk so much.
Oh, is it?
Little bit. I'm not allowed to talk as much.
You worked for NAVEEN JINDAL, let's say in a very close capacity.
True. Yes.
Is there something you would like to share from that journey?
I would like to...
any learnings or any specific stories that you can share?
Yeah.
Because you worked with him closely for 3 years.
Very, very closely. I could share this, that, that what I realized also, all the knowledge that, and a lot of it, a lot of people who are listening to this podcast also, we suffer from a tendency, right, of learning constantly and not taking action. And there is a term for this, and the term is very similar to the grouping that Ukraine is trying to join, which is NATO. You've heard of the full form?
No, what is it?
No action, training only. So what happens is that when I was working for NAVEEN JINDAL, I realized the value of taking non-stop action.
Oh.
Right? And absolutely, it is, you will never have complete information. You will never have full information. And often I would like to call, like, what we think of as learning, right? I would almost go ahead and call it procrastination. So often we get into this mindset that I want to learn more, I want to read a book. That's bullshit. You already know it all. You need to execute.
And we're just delaying our execution.
Delaying execution, delaying work. So that was one of the things that I learned. And this is there, actually all Indians know this, because this is there in the Gita also. That you know, Krishna is in the war. अब आप बोले नहीं मैं थोड़ा भी थ्योरी पढ़ूंगा तो मर गया. So you know, so it is entrepreneurs. I think entrepreneurs have a responsibility to society, to the country, to create wealth. If we do anything else other than creating wealth, it's a travesty. So I kind of learned there in that environment. It's a highly energized environment. There is no such thing as a 5-day week, 6-day week. There's no such thing as work-life balance. It is only, you can say, work-life harmony. You're supposed to feel happy. You're supposed to feel you're doing your duty and just take action.
Wow. So 3 years of being with him, that's a big takeaway. Like, so even at that scale, people are taking action constantly.
Absolutely.
They're not stuck.
Firstly, the scale, I have also realized this, that everyone is the same. You know, so NAVEEN JINDAL, Sunil Mittal, Mukesh Ambani, they're like your dad, they're like my dad. They're all the same. And not to be quoted, I once, one business leader told me, one of my first tasks was कि सब ड्राइवर लोग तेल चोरी कर रहे हैं, पुलिस को कैसे रोके? I said, my dad was telling me the same thing. How the hell can you get 50,000 crore person? Right. So the idea is that, you know, it is uncanny. Everyone is the same. But I would like to think that, you know, that you just learn on some level. If you're very successful, there is no luck. And this, I think, applies across the Indian Fortune 100. There is zero luck. It is more perseverance, more, or rather, if I were to call it, infinitely more action-taking ability. So that is...
so that's very much with the theme that you're saying, right? That you made so many mistakes.
Right.
And when you're saying mistakes to तभी करेंगे जब action लेंगे.
Absolutely.
So what are some interesting mistakes that you've made that you would like to share?
I mean, tons is... I mean, I obviously, in any journey, I have tons of mistakes, stories, you know, lots. I mean, we could tell, you know, take it through chronologically.
Let's go chronologically. Let's uncover the story of your mistakes as an entrepreneur.
So, you can say the journey for any entrepreneur is not easy. So you can say my journey kind of started roughly in 2010, when I kind of came back. My dad called me that you have 2 younger sisters, you have to get them married. You know, I have loans, you have to pay, etc. You have to come, you have to help me. So I left everything and I came back, and I come back to Cal, and then realized that, you know, I had already, because recently developed a decent work ethic. Because, you know, you're working the entire time, you switched on. And I land in Cal, and I'm in office figuring out क्या करना है. And then the friends call कि 4 बजे beer पिएगा. And I was wondering, तो 4 बजे अभी. So
काम करने का
time है. So बोले नहीं, आज तो Friday है. So I said, you know, so you kind of learn what is happening, and so
are you saying Calcutta folks are too slow work?
No. I would say that. I would say they're privileged. I mean, they're well taken care of. They don't need to work. I wasn't that well taken care of. I had to work. So, but the idea was that, you know, so I would say, as a theme, mistakes wise, first mistake that I kind of learned quite early on. So after ISB as well. So when I started the company, I thought, you know, one mistake clearly was that you get taken in by so much of what you read, you know, from the media, etc. So when I was also starting my business, there was so much of talk of startups, there was so much of talk of funding, and the idea that you have to create this really politically correct culture, etc., etc. So even I possibly got swayed in. I got my, I hired a few people from ISB at high salaries, and then we started having a very very relaxed culture, and I kind of lost track. What is the purpose? And I would say my purpose was very clear. You can say my lodestone was very clear, that I have to build my nation. That is what always pushed me, propelled me. But I started getting confused. So I think one mistake was very clearly that you don't need to listen to anyone. Right? You just don't need to listen to anyone. You don't need to believe in anything. You have to do what you want to do. So first aspect is that what I realized is that the base level, you have to be happy. You have to be fucking happy. If you're not happy, you will anyway not be successful. So I almost had over the years, I had a playbook of like 4 steps or 3 steps, right? And and I would say in fact just 3 steps. So according to me, my 3 steps were that be happy. If you're not happy, just stop everything. Figure out how to get happy first. Right. Just get happy. Listen to great music. Be happy. So because often you tend to make more mistakes if you're unhappy. Office politics, or just you're thinking of other things. Overthinking. So just be happy. This is the first thing, you be happy. Second is that you have to, by nature, be altruistic. You have to not be selfish. You have to genuinely want to make a difference. You'll end up taking better decisions. So genuinely kind of get into a frame where bird's eye view. Not bird's eye view. You're thinking, that this is what I want to do, what will help the world per se. So my nation, the world, as big a worldview as you can get, and then just take action. Right? Anything that is not taking action, eliminate. So just take action. So I've realized these 3 things for me. Anytime I feel that things are not great, I just step back, center myself, tuck tuck tuck, boom, take action. So it could be calling up a customer, it could be calling up your wife, it could be calling up your parents, a friend, a vendor, right? Speaking, helping an employee, a team member, slightly be more calm, motivating them. Whatever you need to do, you just need to do it, right? Providing clarity to certain roles, etc. Taking decision on certain, say, product categories. So this has been kind of one learning. So I would say one aspect of the not to do aspect is, do not bother getting swayed by what you're supposed to do, what the media thinks you should be doing, what your friends think you should be doing, even what your team members think you should be doing. You need to know what you need to do, and you need to take action. Love that, taking action. So it's time for you to take action. Sure. And go for the next step. In the meanwhile, while you figure out which next Jenga piece you got to take out, right? Oops. I wanna. It's not that easy. Ooh, there you go. Nice move. I want to ask you, when you started off, of course, right now you're running a 3,000 person organization, 250 crores business every year. When you started off, what was that? Were there struggles in the beginning? And if there were, what were the struggles like? At what level, were the struggles? I mean, see, everyone has struggles. So this is a fact that, everyone at every journey has struggles. Correct. And people are still struggling. But so there are 2 aspects of looking at it. So one is that, yes, there were struggles. But then again, if you look at it, there were no struggles. If I really were to look back, that, I mean, things were hard, but I had food on my plate, right? I had a loving family, health was fine. So, it's about mindset. I've also realized that if you're too stressed or thinking about struggles, you can't really be successful. So yes, we were not from a financially very, very powerful family. So it was normal family. For example, even my school life, my dad used to take me to school in a scooter. And I've seen how he has struggled. We used to pack leather goods in our flat. So we've come from very humble kind of beginnings, and slowly we built up everything. But the idea was that, but it was always a very loving environment. At no point of time did we ever feel that we do not have enough. You can sometimes feel you do not have enough by comparison. अरे उसका तो Mercedes है, मेरा तो Fiat है,
right.
you know. So you can, but that is you have a Fiat. The guy in the village does not even have a functioning cycle.
Correct.
So I feel that yes, everyone on some level is struggling, right?
Right.
But if you look at it, you're healthy. You are. I genuinely feel that as Indians, we are intelligent, sharp, and we have the ability to shake the world if we want to.
Correct.
Right. So we have that capability. We've had a great education. I had phenomenal education. I had an experience that people would kill to. Right. If not me, then who? And if not now, when? So
Is there any story in your beginning days of when you're like, when you thought, okay, I'll take over the family business, you
Right.
came back
Right.
and you started. So what are some things we were doing in the beginning that
So-
you really reminiscent or that are funny?
I would say that it was possibly a type that I realized that, you know, I had already kind of worked a little bit and all that, and I wanted to do things. And so when I came back in 2010, there was my dad, and my uncle was also partially in the business. I did not want to jump into that. I was like, this seems boring. You know, I don't want to.
So many kids with their family business.
Yeah, I don't want to report to so many bosses and all that. You know, I want to create wealth, right?
Yeah.
So this was my perspective, and that also was driving me. So I started my own company right from the beginning. I started an own company, and then obviously no journey is easy. So we were not very successful. So I was so embarrassed. I'm like, shit. So what will people say? I'm blowing up all the money. You know, all family savings are going. My savings have gone. I had saved up a little bit, and so I was very embarrassed. And I think that kind of little bit propelled me also. That कि क्या बोलेंगे सब लोग, थोड़ा काम वाम करो. So, and obviously there have been many journeys. So I can say the initial part was not easy, as you can imagine. Now try to see this scenario of a business. We started the company, and the company was Torero Corporation, and we started the company with a very clear idea: we'll acquire a few brands, right? It's not easy. Who will give you know, a new company certain brands? जाओ चालू करो. So we had a big journey, but kind of I had that strategy that we have to acquire a few brands. We have to acquire worldwide licenses for a few brands. So my step one was I just started cold calling. I called up brands that, you know, that appeared on the phone, pretty much like how you would think in Wolf of Wall Street. You're just calling up, you know, people and convincing them. So just hardcore sales.
Wow.
Called up people that we are, you know, the leather goods manufacturer for centuries. तो वो बोला क्या तुम लियोनार्डो डा विंची का टाइम से वॉलेट बना रहे क्या? So you know, so all of those sales pitches we gave, and we said that we're interested in, you know, taking over your brand for the leather goods category. And so I guess my hit rate was under 0.1% for every 1,000 calls. I used to possibly get one interview, and I really slogged my ass off for the first 4-5 years. For the cross kind of license also, I traveled to the US 23 times. 23 times.
Holy cow.
To really, it was a listed company, and it was very, very difficult in the initial days. So it was very difficult. I have a funny story to tell you. I just gotten married, and I think first year into my marriage, and we had just started the company. So I told my wife, baby, chalo, tumko Europe घुमाने ले चलता है. She was like, okay, let's go to Europe. And she said, हाँ. And but I said, तुम सामान ज़्यादा नहीं ले जा सकती है. ठीक है, this backpack is all you can carry. She was wondering why. She knew I was a cheapskate, so she was thinking I'm not paying for luggage or something. इतना वो. But when we were ready to go for the airport, she saw so many bags. You know, she said, क्या है सब में? Then I said, samples. Then she said, you've trapped me. It's a work trip. So I said, no, there's nothing.
We'll have fun.
Just come. So we land in Europe, and airport mein she sees Pedro. Pedro was a Spanish guy I had partnered with and created Torero Corporation. बोले तो इधर आ गया यहाँ पे. So कैसे चलेंगे? So
life partner, business partner साथ साथ.
And she was the first. She landed, and I was a seasoned traveler. I had no jet lag. We landed in the morning, say at 6 a.m. We did 6 meetings that day, right? वो खत्म हुई, बोले हमको अभी वापस जाना है. हमको तुम्हारा घर नहीं, हमको अपना घर जाना है. so she said, this is brutal. So, but and then I took her to, there is this big, I would call it possibly the biggest fashion fair in Italy or in the world actually, is this fair called Pitti Uomo. So it's a really the
Massive
biggest,
fair.
a big chunk of the global brands are actually Italian or French, right?
So true.
So they are all in Pitti Uomo, and it's a big male kind of fashion fair. So Giorgio Armani is there, everyone's there. It's a big fair. So I took her there, and obviously because it's such a big fair, there were no hotel rooms available. So we stayed in a hostel, right? And वो समझी भी नहीं क्या होगा hostel, tiny room, no bathroom, shared bathroom.
Shared bathroom,
And
right.
she was a privileged girl from South Bombay, so out of love, I guess. But why is it बोल के मम्मी कहाँ शादी करा दिए, होटल में बाथरूम नहीं है. So I said, chalo. And then while we are going, because it's a fashion fair, I said it's a fashion fair, you have to wear nice. So she had just bought, because we had come from Spain, she had just bought, a pair of these, heeled espadrillos with like scarves which go up. High fashion. So I said, wear that. She said, I'm your wife, you want to tell everyone I'm your secretary. So anyway, I mean,
you crack business deals.
Yes, I said, both of us, so I said, absolutely. You're my wife, I don't care whatever you think. We have to grow as a business. And she was very supportive. So, I mean, strong girl. And in Pitti Uomo, for example, because it's a trade fair, you can meet multiple brands at the same time. We met possibly, I would say, 200 brands over 4 days. So just very quick meetings, quick sales pitch on one booth, next booth, third booth. So, so talking either, because there's always opportunities. So if it's Giorgio Armani, can I manufacture for you? If it's Hackett, can I take your license for India?
Wow.
So, so we kept on meeting various people, and it was just hardcore sales, and it was fun. And
what I love about this is like you started making phone calls, you started going and pitching yourself. I think it takes that, you remove that ego that you have and that sense of fear also that comes because of your ego. Ki, what will they say? Will they say no? Am I good enough to, talk to Cross? You said you flew 23 times. I've been there 15 times. Is it going to work? But when you shed all that and you're able to just go and do what's needed, that really elevates your game, and that then opportunities come hit you. I was reading this book called The Aladdin Factor. I don't know if you've read it.
No, not really.
Phenomenal book. Jack Canfield, Mark Victor Hansen. There's just one takeaway from the book, and that's ask. Ask.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you have a doubt, just ask. If you have questions, ask. If you want something, just ask. If you ask, you shall receive.
True.
And
on that theme also, only today morning I was reading, I think in the newspaper it came, the Telegraph, that just like one of those taglines, that no one is successful by sitting at home. You have to get out. You have to ask. You have to do things. And so I would say on reflection, I've realized that a lot of my successes were when I went ahead and I tried to do something. Right. So so either asking, taking action, calling, etc.
Right.
And whenever I just wasted time thinking, feeling bad, ye kare, wo kare, before you know it, a week is gone, and time is something that is never coming back.
So true.
So so
talking about your wedding story, here's another funny thing that taking action, asking. I had a photographer at the wedding, did a great job, but his delivery was due, and he did not deliver on time.
Right.
And there was a payment that's pending. Right after you finish your delivery, that's when I pay you the final amount. And so what happened is the dude was late, and the marriage photos excitement dies down as time goes by. So I was like, man, your delivery is late. He's like, please pay me the pending amount. I said, well, maybe I charge you a compensation fee because your delivery is so late. And he said, sir, please don't cut any fee. So I said, what can you do for me? He said, well, I'll throw in a photo album for you for free, which costs, I don't know, 25,000. I was like, okay, sure. Got a photo album for free. If you just ask, you shall receive. If you don't ask, you'll never get it. So
I think Ankur Variku, who's a famous podcaster, he's my kind of friend from ISB. So I think he has this famous tagline, right?
Is it?
If you don't ask, the answer is always no.
Okay.
Right, and it applies to everything. And in fact, that has also been a theme. That so on that theme, I would say that if you ask, you have no regrets. I mean, if you were in school, there was a pretty girl, you wanted to go out with her. If you asked her, you would have had no regret. She would have slapped you, or maybe she would have told you don't.
Yeah.
Or if it was someone at a workplace and you should not have asked, वो बोल भी देगी Me Too का case कर सकता है. But if you don't ask, you will have that regret for 15 years.
Yeah.
So if you ask, all is forgiven.
Right.
So I agree with that theme that you should always ask.
I love it. So Yash bhai. Oh, by the way.
Yeah.
Gotta go
Your
for
turn,
Jenga.
I think. No.
No, it's your turn now.
My turn.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's see if
If you want, I'll tell you another funny story.
Tell me, what
Yeah.
story is this?
So this is kind of similar, kind of. So I would say on to another theme which I would want to tell your viewers is entrepreneurship is a lot of fun, right? It's because you're taking your own decisions, right? Even the tough stories are also fun, right? I mean, it's tough, but
you're taking
traveling
your own
internationally is fun, boss. So
traveling to US 23 times.
It's a lot of fun.
That sounds like a lot of jet lag too.
Yeah, no, it's a lot of fun. So there was this another very interesting story, and I remember. So again, I was not only with my wife, but I was also with Pedro, and we used to.
Pedro ko famous करेंगे.
Pedro is a lot of fun.
What's up, Pedro? Hola, ¿cómo estás, amigo?
Pedro was a hilarious guy. Rest in peace. He's no more.
Oh.
And
I didn't know about that.
I'm padrino. I'm godfather to his children.
Oh wow!
Officially,
Okay. So that's a big culture in Spain, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, and I'm very Hindu,
Yeah.
but I'm still, you can say, officially godfather in the birth certificate of his children.
Wow.
So, like a benefactor, etc. So we fund all their.
That's a
schooling,
big
etc.
Catholic practice, right? To
Absolutely.
have a godfather. Yeah.
But so
Anyways,
in Europe, so everyone flies Ryanair or other low
I've
cost
flown Ryanair when I was
A lot,
studying
right?
in Europe. Yeah.
And especially for the viewers who do not understand how bad Ryanair can be, it is Indigo into 100, and the seats don't recline, and you pay, and the seats are different. But I have a really
$50 seats, $60 seats.
You pay for the
Sasta
luggage,
seats, sasta flight.
and because we used to carry a lot of samples and all, for the sales, because we were always looking for orders or trying to build up distribution.
Yeah.
So three of us, me, my wife, and Pedro. So we landed, in Pisa, in Italy, and
The Leaning Tower, the city of the Leaning
so that
Tower.
city has a low-cost airport, which is run by Ryanair. So Ryanair often goes to different airports also.
I know.
And it was raining, but Ryanair has no method, no even covered walkway. So imagine this scenario. So we reach Pisa, we land, and what they do is that they just open the gates and jao bus hai na hai to. So get out, and we're like, kahan? Because it's raining. There's no. They don't even have. Ryanair as practice does not have the steps that say Indigo or others have. They use the aircraft's kind of stairs to go
Aircraft
down.
stairs, yeah.
So they said, open, that get out. No one moved. कहाँ जाए?
It's raining.
It was torrential rain. सब लोग बैठे हैं आधा घंटा. Then एक
Plane के अंदर.
प्लेन के अंदर बैठा है. बोले जाएगा कहाँ? टर्मिनल बहुत दूर है. And you'll be soaking wet. सब बैठे. हम लोग भी बैठे. So we were in the cheap seats midway, but कोई हिला ही नहीं. And then suddenly, always there is this one board. नहीं मैं जाऊँगा. तो एक जन गया. डर के मारे तो पीछे आ गया. It was raining. Finally, they were refusing to do anything. We telling the flight attendant. They're also asking, WhatsApping on their phone. Finally, हम लोग गया. कैसे तैसे the entire plane, and it was a long journey. I would think something like 250 meters.
Wow.
And some
So
finally,
that's like a 2-3 minute walk.
yeah, it's a longish walk. I would say 10-minute walk.
Yeah.
So everyone just got out and they started running. And I think midway from the aircraft to the terminal, there was like a fuel kind of shelter thing. वहाँ जाके थोड़ा देर wait किए. Then again, we did the second journey. So by the time we reached, we were like soaking wet, like innards, everything were wet. So I guess so entrepreneurship has you can say trials and tribulations such as this, but this is also fun.
Yeah.
So
Right on. I love it.
my move.
Yes, your move. This is a tough move, and I may have a tough question coming up.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Attack it.
Jenga. Ooh. So the tough question I have for you is, you're into manufacturing of leather products, right?
Yeah.
And there's a big movement that's happening right now, vegan movement, leather ban leather products,
Absolutely.
etc., type of thing. So what's your take on it,
So
and how do you counter that?
So my take is that I'm glad you asked me that,
Yeah.
and I'm glad whenever I get any question from anyone, it's a in entrepreneurship, everything's an opportunity.
Yeah.
The pandemic was an opportunity. Changing market trends,
So true.
feedback is an opportunity,
So true.
because you're getting an opportunity to tell your story,
Yeah.
and you're not supposed to be kind of attached to something what you're doing. You're supposed to give the consumers what they want.
Yeah.
So I'm like, the moment you would ask me something like that, I would say yes, absolutely. That is why we have a whole range of vegan products for you.
Yeah.
Because my entire approach when faced with any question is, what is the opportunity in it? What can I possibly provide to plug in this individual, this company, this country's need? And so as a company, you can say we evolved. We're no longer a leather business. We're pretty much, you can say, a fashion business. We are there to provide whatever
People
the
want.
consumers want. Like in India, for example, leather, irrespective of the, you can say, the emotions attached to it, is unaffordable by the consumer. So leather is just available in very small leather goods such as wallets or belts, or in certain cases shoes, but that is it. Everything else is synthetic leather, and now increasingly nylon and other technical fibers. So everything's an opportunity. To give an example, I was faced with a similar type of question as Germany. Germany is going very woke.
Yeah, very
And,
woke, very vegan.
Very vegan. So
Among Westerners,
Right,
the
right.
highest population I have met who
Right.
are by choice vegetarian are
right.
German women.
Yes, German has this kind
German
of deep.
and women.
Right.
German women are like
Right.
highly woke and
Yes, yes.
vegan.
So same, this customer was only constantly asking me about sustainability. I said, boss, I flexed my fingers. And in India, what happens is that, all, I would call all certifications, testings, these are all just a form of trade barriers or gateways which you need to clear. So as a company, we've really dominated that. Like even on our website, we have a link where we have all the testing that we have done and all the certifications that we've undergone. We're SA 1000, CTPAT, ISO. We've even undergone the CTPAT kind of classification, which enables our products to be sold on board airlines, because it means that there's no anthrax in the product, etc., etc. So when a German customer asked me that, that are you sustainable, etc., etc., we flipped that into getting a whole sustainability audit done, right? Presenting a sustainable range of leather products, or rather in mango leather products, and secured an order out of the same.
Wow.
So when faced with any question, it's an opportunity to get business out of it. And so yeah, so.
I love that. I love that. What a great response, and it also shows that you have this nimbleness and agility. Most people, they never ask for the opportunities because they start thinking about, "अरे मैं तो ये करते आ रहा हूँ. I am doing this. मैं ये leather करते आ रहा हूँ." They take it as a threat. But if you have the agility and nimbleness to move from this to that, that's when you see everything as an opportunity, right?
I think that also this deep perspective that you start believing that you are something that you're not. I mean, that I am this, I only am this, whatever. Suppose I'm a leather couch manufacturer, right? So that you're shutting down yourself by attaching too much importance to yourself, and really not listening, which is what you were asking about. You have to ask your customers. So I think on some level, I think life kind of teaches you also that you shouldn't think so highly of yourself. Right? Listen to the customer. You have to give them what they want. Obviously, you should have a vision that where you want to take your company, what you want to do, etc. So that has also helped us. So we always listen to the customer. You have to give the customer an opportunity to talk, really understand what is their need. And so either the customer is always speaking, either you can listen to them, or your balance sheet will show it. Right. So
wow. So moving towards the final leg of my questioning, what vision do you have? And then we'll finish up the Jenga game that's pending.
Sure. I think it's your move, right?
No, it's your move.
My move.
I'm good with my moves, bro.
All right. I'll just. Oops. This is.
Oh,
Yeah. So.
nice.
Oops. So what was the question?
The question is, let's see if you. Question is, oh, nice. The question that I have for you is, this Jenga game is getting intense, so
Yes.
I almost blanked out. But the question,
Yeah.
that I had
What is the goal do you have for the
what's the
company?
next vision that you have for your
So I
company?
think the vision is. Yeah, go for it. Even I'm intrigued.
Gotta be
Yeah. That's
nimble.
a tricky one. Tricky one.
Alrighty.
So, yeah. I already know which one I'm gonna take. So what I can just
you
take
wanna
that.
go forward with it?
Oops. Because the rule is we're actually kind of both of us are slightly cheating. We're supposed to use one hand only.
Is it? I've been using only one hand.
Oh,
I think.
I in the middle may have just a bit of both. I think
So-
you're gone. But yeah, so the question is that was a mean one.
You can't go. You gotta go 3 layers down. Ooh. Good move. The vision.
Yeah, so our vision is actually very crisp right now, and I think in fact because another thing I've learned.
Your vision's got to be crisp right now for sure.
No, you have to you have to remind yourself and your team members of the vision a million times. So what I did for myself, that
People keep forgetting.
you have to keep forgetting. You yourself forget your vision, right? And I would think there's a process even for creating the vision, which is very critical. But we lasted a long time. See, this is why men don't multitask. We're terrible at it. So, and actually, we are not supposed to multitask also.
Yeah.
So I think for your viewers as well, I think there's one piece here.
That's fine. We'll get it later.
We'll get later.
Thank you.
I think for your viewers as well, this is also something that I've learned is that in work, you're never supposed to multitask. Success is not built by multitasking. Success is not by doing things in parallel. Success is by doing things in sequential.
Wow.
So absolutely, because so it is what do you want to do right now? This is all the gyan that we've all received. But what is the one thing that you have to do right now? Absolutely, you do that. And then you do the next one thing. And then you do the next one thing. And then you keep on taking action infinitely, right? But sequentially. So that has also been a success. But on the vision aspect also, I'll try to share how we came up with our vision, and we try to refine our vision every 6 months. But I would say this is pretty much for any visioning exercise. Literally, these are the 3 steps. Again, you need to make yourself happy, right? It could be anywhere. Lock yourself in your studio. You have such a great studio.
Thank you very much.
A studio, a study, or anywhere, or just on the weekend or in a cafe or something. Lock yourself, or just be in a very, very happy environment. Listen to great music, etc. Then, while thinking altruistically, because if you think selfishly, you'll never get a right vision. Just crisply write down your vision. Right? Absolutely write down your vision. Right? Because you have to have a written down vision. So I even prepared a deck, and every month we do a town hall where I remind all our team members that this is what our goal is. You have to drill it down, because it is not only for them, it is also for me.
Yeah.
And I'm reminding them, I'm reminding myself also of the vision. So our vision is very crisp. Our vision is that what we've realized is that keeping certain assumptions in mind is that firstly, at core, we have to really care for our customer, which means any product that we design, we have to realize that when you start caring for your customer, so a customer buys a police product or a cross product or even one of the products that we white label for, they're using their hard-earned money. They're using everyone has limited funds. They're using money they've got from their salary, a big chunk, 5-6%, and buying a treasured item. It could be a tool such as a backpack or a handbag for a wife on Valentine's Day, or a men's bag, which can help them feel better about themselves, be more confident, secure more business, grow more in life. So they're using a big chunk of their savings from that. We have to respect that choice. So we design from one perspective that any product we design should have zero degradation for 36 months. Not even one suta should come off, right? We have 100% money back guarantee. So we design with that ethos in mind. Second, we are very, very cost effective. So our goal is to be the lowest cost product for that quality worldwide, right? Third is we design, our entire supply chain is indigenous. So our goal is that any product that we offer to our partners should be shipped within 4 weeks. So we design with that in mind. We limit ourselves to certain logo types, certain techniques, certain materials that we can deliver within 4 weeks. Another important aspect is that design is free, right? It is like, for example, like art, right? It'll take you the same amount of time to create bad art and good art. It is just how involved you are in the process.
Correct.
Right. So we have a rule that anything we make should be award-winning design. No bad designs allowed.
Wow.
So we have defined these 4 core tenets. Out of this is the theme that I was talking about, that you have to think altruistically, you have to think for the consumer, you have to think for your partner. So there are no excuses for shoddy work. So one is core aspect is this: respect everyone's time, respect everyone's money, right? Give great product out. This is step one. Once this base is taken care of, because our goal is that we're a B2B company. Our goal is that our partners make money.
Right.
Our partners being corporate gift distributors, our partners being retailers,
e-commerce platforms,
because we make product which they ultimately sell to the consumer.
Yeah.
So how will they make money? If the products are very, very popular, which means that products are consumers will really want that product, right? So which means the sell through is fast. Second is perceived value is high, so that they will make money, right? Third is reliability. They order, they get the goods, and obviously with high level of trust. Whatever they see is what they get. So our first priority is that our partners make money. So with that theme that we create, thinking for everyone, right? Our goal is to become the gateway for buying fashion from India, right? We like to think that we've created a very nice supply chain for white label of leather goods and travel goods, and that same supply chain exists for our own goods. And our goal is to, if anyone wants to buy from China, yes, because China, I do believe in manufacturing, is about 10 years ahead of us, but it is India's time. And our goal is that an American company, a German company, a Polish company, or an Indian company, if they've taken a decision to buy from India, within that decision, we want to be the gateway for providing fashion goods from India. So with that, that's our kind of our vision and our goal. And the moment you solve a need, money will be made. So our goal is to solve that need. If someone wants a retailer, a distributor, they want leather goods, we have a solution. E-commerce company wants leather goods, travel goods, we have a solution. So our goal is to solve that need.
So folks, how to make shit ton of money, solve a need. That's the summary.
Yes,
of our
and you have to take action. Which means after they write on the comments below, they must make that phone call to a customer, right? Or to a girl that they liked in school, right? Nothing will happen by clicking on to another podcast.
So true, so true. Go, let this podcast be one that makes you take action. Do you have any questions for me?
I mean, I would like to say, Naren, that I think I spotted you at that ice cream parlor with another girl. Who was she?
Oh, probably my wife. Yeah. My sister's not in town for a long time. So.
Yeah, sure. We'll ask the viewers that.
You're too funny, bro. Thank you so much, Yash,
Thank
for
you.
being on the show. Thank you guys for listening out, and we'll be having more such awesome conversations hopefully in the future.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, beat you at the Jenga game.
Yes.
Probably can't get as high of a score on my GMAT as you.
But yeah, let's see. I think I'll wait for my next opportunity to get back at you.
Thank you, Yash.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hello and welcome again. I hope you really enjoyed this podcast. If you did, share it with one person that you can help. Jisko isse madad mile. And if you like this podcast, you want such more insightful information and knowledge, check out the other podcasts right here. I will see you very soon in another episode.